NIKO was in such a compromised position. The spread of that Molotov forced him into an angle he wasn't ready or wanting to take.
I just love the back and forth because neither team has been able to accrue a large economy.
Everyone's uncomfortable.
And the loss bonus is at the bottom of the barrel for both teams. So right now, if we continue to go back and forth down the stretch, I actually think this will favor G2. Right, G2 win this round right now. Falcons don't save any guns. The bank balance gets blown wide open. And at that point, your opportunity to take over the game is presented on a silver platter. Heavy go with the instant red, lined up. CTs, drop out elbow, no B doors on the insta. There's a donut straight away. So they want mid control. They're going to fight for this.
Yeah, Malbs tries it again. And look what it costs him. Oh, he's in trouble now. Trapped on the box with no help. NIKO, good work. The farmhouse gets 3. How does he get 3 there? Wow. In the absence of Kyosuke, NIKO steps up to the plate.
This is the thing, he doesn't have to be the first man in. He gets to activate there. Trade off of that death, and first two were great. You could just see the coming through the smoke, pathing left and right. The flash was there from A.
And the HG damage as well, like their ears are ringing.
Now if Heavy God stays tucked, he might go uncleared. And if that's the case, Heavy God's the type of guy that can get you 2 from nowhere. It's him and Mattis, and both of them have been having a damn decent game.
This is going to be sketchy. I feel like Tessis is the kind of player that
clears this.
NIKO isn't. Denied. Heavy God. Bomb spotted, but double kill provided. He's still behind the box, and MONESY gets away with him. Removes him with the AWP. Mattis takes his place. He didn't pick up the bomb. Still has to do so. They're falling back. They let him play. MONESY, missed shot. 29 and counting.
Well, the push in the cave right now, this is masterful from Kixon.
Oh yeah, he's ahead of the play.
This the jump up.
Risky though, he's counting on being overlooked completely, and he is! Kixon gets the backstab. Okay, upgrade, 11 rounds. Ancient G2's pick, Falcons 2 away from taking it.
Now the fact that got so close after NIKO gets that triple kill in middle, that right there, look, you would think it's warning signs, but not when the cash is in disarray for G2. I was talking about financial troubles for Falcons, well that too is on the other foot. We've seen G2 very good on their CT side with the low buys. They had the same setup they ran twice. Now right now it's a Galil, it's 2 Deagles, it's a P250 and a Tech 9. And they always seem to have an idea in these rounds.
Galil, Tech 9, 250, Universal Oliver.
Hometown in Spawn, needed to be scooped up. Bias has some B lane space with the support of Mattis. Side of A-main for the push is Heavy God with the Galil, like a default to start with, but this will be the time for Sampaius to hit a big shot on this dig. Use that like the AWP. Needs to be straight between the eyes. Flashing a fight with Tessis.
Falcons.
Allowing Falcons to use their protocol utility to block. Losing any HP to early damage now. Has cage control. The warning shots are showing that they do have this B lane presence. Is it one man or more? Still for the finish. Decent amount of utility. Red smoke lands. Still smoke a molly and a handful of flashes to work with.
NIKO.
Someone was quick on the draw on the deep there. What are you doing? There's the flashbang.
Çok vardı Falcons, çok vardı Multipa yüklü digene mi? Yok, çok vardı digene mi?
More of the same. It'll be down to the Tech 9s, the Deagles.
Bak Monesy şanslı dışarıdayken.
Now I understand the Deagle in the first couple of fights he's trying to take. That one feels more Tech 9. That feels like a Tech 9 or a flash would have been nice.
Şaştık, kanaka şaştık. Bir tane intro da leken. Radius. Otus Radius boş şeydi. Vardı mı?
Looks like the first foray for Falcons on Ancient could be met with a W.
Agresya.
This is Kixon trying to bring that fight to them. Heavy got down, but an M4 falls into enemy hands. Has he given him a bit too much there?
Everyone's rotated to deal with this.
Yeah, interesting smoke. That's a CT smoke dribbled forward that they can break, they can peek, and they can
NIKO
does just that. A double kill. Upon it seems like a
kurarken az boldu.
The first look at this Ancient and it looks damn good.
So this one is going to
Już
beat around.
teammate'lerin
This one
takip.
is
Ha,
done, and it is
var.
going to be train coming up next. A map where the pistol rounds were split, low buys were won.
Tinch misiniz,
and a
brat,
back and
tinch,
forth
tinch,
throughout.
brat,
Have a
izlechi.
look at what
Botda mı
Falcons
sekin
have been working on. They weren't over in
Şurada var kes,
playing
brat,
rounds,
train
so it's
nima?
really time to get the
Yutwattım bile,
practice
yutkuzwattım.
in, and
7-1.
so far, so good. It's their map choice of train coming up next, and they have the opportunity to 2-0 this series. We all knew it was going to be
Oley
about
geçiyor, futbolda generseler.
for both of these teams.
I think what's so impressive to me as well is just the amount of
Kim
pressure.
Yutarken train'de. FALCONS'tan pika train, brat. Bilmedim
We
kim
need
Yutarken.
this win for that club championship. And then you come in, you lose some silly rounds. They lost a couple of eco, they lost to some force buys. It was not pretty.
Olga moqchi
And yet
bo'pti
they take it
lekin.
over anyway. Pressure high, Falcons.
Ikki bo'lib bo'ladi общий. Shunaqada bo'lasizmi, Strix? Juda hali slabый edi, juda hali slabый. Finali Torat Falcons 100%. 100%. Menimcha 70 ga 30 menda biri. Tomada screw o'rganmi? Kesuki, labiga. Do'pi bo'ladi. Понял. ABC. Shunda siyib keli. Bonushka, brat. Nima gap? Tinchmi? Shunda siyib bermasam bo'lmaydi. Og'aytaman.
Level up your gaming experience with over 8 billion playlists, only on Spotify, the official audio streaming partner for the 2025 Esports World Cup.
I am precision. All intentional. Every frag.
Quad kill in defensive round just like that.
I am speed.
Kiyasuke's got to do it alone, but he's just doing
Every
everything right
movement.
now. 4 shots with the USP connect to the head of Furia.
I am.
Bro, where's Maxim? It's almost practice time.
I'm still trying to find him actually.
Man, these young players nowadays, they're just...
I don't know where he is. NIKO, you will not believe, man. I found him.
Where is he, man?
He's at this sim racing. It's crazy.
Sim racing? Bro thinks he's Max Verstappen.
What's up, bro?
He is him.
Alo.
What's up, everybody? I'm Quickshot, joined by
Just
Street
for
Fighter broadcast extraordinaire Ridge. What's up, man? How you doing?
Doing great, man. How are you?
Very good, thank you. I have some important questions about Falcons. I want to find out about the three fighters and what the chances of advancing. Let's start with Falcons NL. He's waiting for the winner of Hurricane and Shine in a do-or-die match himself.
He talked about it in day one. He was playing not to lose rather than playing to win. I think if he plays to win here in day two, he'll be able to take down either Hurricane or Shine.
You're saying he advances to the next round?
I do.
Now, in the other Falcons matches, Kusanagi, who represents Falcons, is taking on Ryukishi. The winner of that match then plays Falcons DCQ. So we got a potential team kill. Who is advancing?
I think when it comes to solid and consistency, I actually favor DCQ and Ryukishi, but Kusanagi has the most potential to get hot. So today, in my bones, I'm feeling Kusanagi making it out.
Kusanagi, you're saying two players advance. Now, for the Counter-Strike viewers, phase 1 of Street Fighter has 48 fighters. That drops to 24. Which we're saying Kusanagi and NL are there. If you win in phase 2, you then advance to the top 16. Who's advancing? Are they advancing?
Oh man, when I dig deep, when I look inside, I think Kusanagi's got it today.
NL's out in round 16 according to Ringe. Now you still need to win one more match to make top 8 to score club championship points. Does Kusanagi do it?
The lights are on. He's used to an environment like that. He's a second generation fighting player. He makes top 8.
That's it. You got your prediction from Ringe and Street Fighter. Back to you guys at the desk.
Well, that's what's happening at Street Fighter. We've got Kyosuke racing into the server. We got Falcons racing to an early win here in this series.
Yeah, what a game to begin here with between Falcons and G2. For the vast majority of that one, Janko, I felt that looked like a game of Face It, a bit of a Pocky style, you know. I know Ancient is a map that offers up a lot of these early duels if you want to. You saw Malps being very aggressive towards middle, you know, contesting it, but it felt like a very messy game for both teams where the individual had to bail each other out.
I think you can tell the pressure was there for both of them, right? I mean, we talk a lot about the Falcons and the pressure for them and the club championship, but also, I mean, for G2, they want to prove MONESY wrong, first and foremost, right? And NIKO to an extent, and prove that they can, you know, still be the better team, despite all the investment that the Falcons have made, that the G2 can still compete and still beat them, right? So there were a lot of rounds that were messy. I mean, this was a great round from Hunter early on, alone on the A-bomb side against 3 guys, just securing it in the reset round. So there was a lot of back and forth, man. Low buys being won, NIKO pretty much from the side of G2. But the difference is for Falcons, compared to, you know, Cologne or the Major even, they would lose a 5v3 but not lose the game, right? Like they still were able to sort of stay in it. They were able to deliver it, and due to no small part to NIKO actually playing well.
It's nice to see, right? We've talked about teams being able to play their B or their C game, and it's those rocky rounds where you can see the mental stress come in. Do we see the integration of Kyosuke? What do we think about that? How is he looking? I know it's just one map here so far.
Yeah, it's not like he individually had a game where he was popping off. He had a couple of moments, a couple of rounds where he had some important kills, but I don't think he was a difference maker in that sense. So one would even argue, you know, that was not necessarily a good game by him, and yet Falcons still won. Janko said it as well. G2 won a couple of force by, even in NIKO as well, and still the scoreline is 13-9. So one could argue that the game really wasn't that close. I think the more scrappy it got, the more likely Falcons were to win.
I think it was a lot more close than the score showed. Yeah, I mean, you go back to the Malb's clutch against MONESY where he has 1 bullet left. I mean, if he just hit, I know that's not the mentality. He thinks he's going to swing in, so just like, either I kill him or I don't. But that was like a millisecond left on the defuse. There were a couple of, you know, close rounds that went both ways, but I think the game was, you know, on a knife's edge really for the most part. And yeah, for Kyosuke and the Falcons, I mean, NIKO is playing A now, pretty much like A/mid, sort of that position that Robs used to play on phase, or Bit plays on the side of Navi, and he's found some success, you know, on that CT side, right? Like good utility usage a couple of times to block the opponent.
Because if you look at the team, there's almost everyone wants to do this or do that. we don't have space for all that. So I think it's just about balancing it. Yeah, obviously in the past it was a bit different. I think you mentioned the Paris Major with Apex. I think back then it was a bit different and maybe easier to call because
Blast'tan volt. Ayarladılar gol oldu. Geçerken ben oyunu. One pixel. Oyunu oturttu.
Let's check.
То есть есть люди, которые играют не очень такие популярные игры, как КС и Дота, и все равно могут в своих дисциплинах поучаствовать. Это, кстати, круто. Там, кстати, призовые ёбнутые для этих.
Turn around this round, that was a very important moment in the game because G2 was getting started.
Absolutely, and G2 had a couple of opportunities, it felt like, to not necessarily put the game away, but you know, separate themselves from Falcons. I mean, this was it. You're in a 4v2, the money is all out pretty much for the side of Falcons, and they just sort of let it slip away. I mean, some bias, or you gotta hit that shot, right? Like, I mean, that's it. That's why you're there, and he didn't have the best of games on
Istanbul. It feels like it's becoming a trend that we're having this conversation, right? That Sun Pius hasn't necessarily been promised when he came into this roster. He's under the microscope, and
honestly, man, I think the conversation was like it was a package deal for him and Saw, but not a package deal that G2 requested. It's the one that was brought to the table by Heroic. I mean, they wanted to offload them really and say, okay, you guys want Saw, you have to take Sun Pius. So, you know, it's unfortunate considering, you know, 2-3 years ago, towards the end of CSGO, he was one of the most fun operators to watch, right? The guy that's not like MONESY or, you know, some of the other guys in terms of mechanically and the flicks and the crazy shots, or Molodoy, it's more, okay, step-by-step sort of positioning and punishing, right? But he's just struggled to find that impact in CS2.
Now, I will say something we can say that's very nice for G2 is it doesn't feel like Hunter has taken a step back individually since taking up the IGL mantle. If anything, it almost looks like he's more in the flow state in a lot of these rounds.
Seems to be thriving in that role for now. Obviously, I think the deeper you get into it and the more frustrating over time it will be for Hunter to maybe lose games, lose tournaments. It's also tough to keep that focus and continue to play at such a high level. But as you said, like, it's a great start for him from an individual standpoint. It's always incredible tough from the outside, Yenko, to judge, you know, how much is it him doing great calling, how much is it not, you know, doing mid-round calling or other players taking charge of that. How much does Saw have to play into all of this as well? But I think if you're Hunter and you're heading into your first stint ever as an in-game leader and your coach is Saw, I think that's a perfect match. You know, I think that's a perfect guy to help you out. So for Hunter to getting off to a good start, not only individually but also within G2, I think that's instrumental. And I was even joking in the green room, you know, maybe Hunter is going to join Falcons and be the leader of this team at one point if he continues to be trend.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah, I think you're definitely happy that he hasn't fallen off a cliff. I mean, he's playing better than he did when he wasn't an IGL. You can make a case for that, and obviously with all the changes that G2 has experienced coming into this season, we're gonna cut them some slack in terms of maybe not everything looking great on the macro side, but you can't even say that they're playing poorly, you know, that they're, you know, making bad calls or anything. Sometimes you roll the dice a little bit. They struggled on the T side here with the economy, right? They couldn't necessarily get the economy going outside of that one round after the eco win, and that's always going to be tricky to come up with rounds when you have to play with weaker utility.
Now looking forward, right, based on what we've seen here in this first map, Falcons' confidence seems to be building here. Do we think that's going to be enough to make this a clean 2-0? Or do we think they might struggle down the stretch?
I don't think there's anything that suggests to me it's going to be a clean 2-0. To be completely honest, after watching the first game, I still think G2 can be competitive on train, knowing that they get to start on the T side as well. That's always tough to be on the T side. And let's be honest, you know, MONESY didn't also necessarily have the best of the best game with AWP. I think he was missing a couple of shots, you know, that is uncharacteristic for MONESY, but we have seen that more often than not as of late. And I think train is a map that if you want to be impactful with the AWP, you have to be up close and in a lot of fights. And if you miss the first shot, you will get punished.
Yeah, I'm also reluctant to anything related to Falcons to call it clean at this point, but it's very important two things that despite some of the rounds that you've shown and seen in this game, that they were able to win the game, and more so than anything that NIKO has played well. I mean, he's been in a slump really in the last couple of tournaments and hasn't been, you know, he's been dissatisfied with the level himself, so not just to have a lot of kills but actually find a lot of impact. I think it's really important for them, and it's going to help Falcons sort of keep rolling in this tournament.
Now looking at the other co-match, we had a chance for Frey to catch up with Hunter before the match.
Hunter, great to get to see you, as always. First of all, massive props for going with the bold pick of Blast Bounty, going with Spirit. Obviously not going your way in the end, but it was a really close series. Can you kind of tell me what you learned about the team from that match?
Yeah, I mean, we knew that we have nothing to lose, picking Spirit. We just wanted to win because it was like a lot of points on the table, to be honest, for VRS, and overall beating them would be massive for us. But yeah, we learned a lot, I think, after that game, because we had the first map, then we won second, third we got kind of smashed. But they're a great team, and yeah, as I said, we didn't have much to lose. We just wanted to win, of course, and we learned a lot from that game, I would say.
I know it hasn't been a super long time since you've, you know, been responsible for in-game leading within the team. So if we're saying on a scale of 1, which is bad, 10, which is the best, where would you kind of say you are in your progression as a leader of G2?
I would say 6. For now, I think it's really hard at the beginning. There is a lot of work to do and to focus as well on the whole team, not only on myself individually. I will need some more time. On practice, it's looking good because we practice a lot, but we didn't have that many official games. We didn't have that many events for now, and that's what we need. We need 5 days in a row to play officials, because you learn the best if you play official games. Comparing to practice, it's a huge difference. But I'm trying to give my best even on practices together with the boys, and I'm happy with the progress for now.
We've got a very exciting official on the card today, because you're not only going up against your cousin in NIKO, but I believe this is the first time you'll face MONESY since he left G2. Also, obviously, the first time you're going to face QARSHI as well. What do you think of the state of Falcons at the moment?
I think they're really hungry to show what they're capable of, because they are an amazing team with amazing individuals. They didn't show good things in Cologne, same as us. After that, they didn't even play Blast, so their last game was in Cologne. So it's been a while. And I think here, in front of their home crowd, let's say, in front of their bosses, they want to show that that they can be a good team, and today will be a huge fight, I would say.
There's also an extra added element of pressure, because currently Team Falcons are #1 in the club championship race. So there's definitely some pressure on their side. You know NIKO better than anyone. Do you think he's feeling that the weight pushing down on him today to get a good result in this game?
Yeah, I think, of course, they are all feeling pressure. Even us, we are feeling the pressure, but I would say pressure is on them because they are favorites. They are playing in front of their home crowd, and yeah. They are a super team who won trophies as well.
Super team.
So, like, since they made the team, so yeah, I think under the pressure, he's experienced enough, and we all know it. He's playing for 10 years, Tier 1 almost, so I'm not worried about him. I know that he will be fighting good against us, and yeah, about other younger players, of course, it will be a bit different for them. But yeah, I just hope both teams will enjoy, and the crowd will enjoy as well together with us.
Thank you so much for your time, Hunter. Best of luck in the game versus Falcons.
Thank you.
A little bit of a preview there from Hunter, and also a little bit of an update here on the club championship. Team Liquid have been eliminated from Crossfire. So the scenarios here where somebody other than Falcons could push to the top of that podium are starting to slim down. Liquid's still alive in Street Fighter, so they could overcome. But if Falcons can close a win here, they would at the very least eliminate Vitality. Scenarios are starting down here.
Yeah, a lot of money on the line for Falcons. Obviously, if they win here, they guarantee top 2, and I believe that's $4 million at the very least, still with the potential to win and get the 7 mil.
Here with some more words on the club championship, we've got James Banks.
And with that, the chances are dwindling for Team Liquid. This was over on the Crossfire stage, and the Egyptian team ROG just beat them 2-1. On the map that Liquid did win, it was still very close. ROG seemed very dominant, and they just completely owned them on the final map here. This means that the only points that Liquid can get to try and take over Falcons has to be in Street Fighter, who's facing elimination. It's not looking good for him. I'll keep checking in, and I'll find out all the information when it comes to the club championship.
A lot on the line for Team Liquid here, but we'll focus back in on G2 versus Falcons. We're headed into Train. Quick thoughts on that map between these two teams, Janko?
Yeah, I can't say I'm a fan of Falcons picking Train. As I said, with the roster composition that they have, you want to keep it on the more brawly maps where there's not that many choke points, and then you have more opportunities. But we'll see. They picked it for a reason. I'm sure they're confident on it, right? And we'll see what they have in store for us.
Well, when MONESY first came into the lineup and Magic was still around, I think they have some good experience from that. You know, we all remember what happened in was it Sydney or Melbourne? You know, where they had to beat Vitality in that grand final, almost did it. But I feel like Falcons, as you said, there's other maps that, you know, stylistically maybe is a better fit for them, but Train is a place they've found success most recently as well, so I guess it makes sense. Starting on the T side though, that can be the Achilles heel.
And so Train it will be as Falcons look to put this one away in front of their home crowd, but G2 scrabbling for survival will fight on through. It's Train here at the Esports World Cup.
Yanko's raising questions about the Train pick, Chad. Where does it land in your plan?
I agree with the sense of, hey, this team is going to do the absolute best work on the more brawly maps. Yeah. Maybe there is something that they have seen in the way that G2 approached this. And they've only played this map once. It was at Cologne. It was a 13-10 loss to Vitality.
Chat like was
that doesn't sound terrible. On the other side of the server for Falcons with this roster, they played it against Furia back at Cologne, and they won it 13-7. So only very limited data for both of these two teams to go off, but let's get this one underway. CT side start for G2. Falcons on the attack, their map choice, and a couple of smokes, bunch of flashes, and a slow crawl as NIKO again will be equipped with a P250. So some similarities in how they've approached the Ancient and now Train pistol rounds. Addis started over towards the high ramp. Hunter is going to join him, so they have two players towards B, and both playing high ramp side. It means that they won't get bottlenecked, flooding out a connector or CT on the rotation. But right now, Kisuke leading the charge in through Pop. Sampai's on the jiggles with a smoke in hand, joined by the likes of Heavy God and Malbs on Yard.
Malbs readies himself. That camera smoke will be blocked, and it will have angles around. Tends to Ivy momentarily, and that's bought enough time for Kisuke to get up sight. Malbs and Sampai's both connect. Take down the young guns. It's looking comfortable, very comfortable. Heavy God, he seals the deal with the double on the Julies. Kixon's 1 HP. He's got, well, absolutely no chance here. Gets himself a constellation. Frag Hunter a bit upset that it's not the clean sheet. There isn't anything to be done with 1 HP versus 4.
Yes, I really like the block smoke there from Malbs. Good heads-up play. Obviously has to expose himself when that's in the air. But look, that's where you turn to Falcons. You have to hope that they go, oh, hold up, well, you missed the camera smoke. Well, no, it was blocked. And trying to identify that, you hope you can just bat it away. But this is a nice pistol round to win. And that's an easy kill, isn't it? So Malbs executes Kisuke.
I always have admiration for players that can use Julies at range. You know, like the second one, fine, but the first.
Well, when we've spoken to Zywoo before, how do you use the Julies? So, oh, just click really fast. But if you're using it at range, you're not clicking really fast, are you? You're going to have to be quite poised with it. Now,
Sampai's is solo pushing.
Sampai's solo pushing.
Tells me he wants to have a strong start on Train. Just for his own confidence, as Esk has highlighted, some shortcomings from the Spaniard in our first map. So confidence-boosting Eeks.
Or at least you hope so. So there's two. Can you get more? You got to reload in, Chief. Yeah, maybe give Hunter a chance.
Yeah, fake the sound. I like that. Basic Hunter gets his. Maybe a little bit too much jam on the donut with the second repeat, but be no harm, no foul here. NIKO's bomb spotted. Heavy God relays the info and lays down NIKO.
All right, well, this was NIKO, so yeah, okay. I wonder if he gets another, how that could have implicated the buy. If there was another kill, then it could have been a dropped AWP for MONESY.
Gonna be getting into that first gun round. It's a big one.
Didn't know he could.
All right, first rifle round. Let's get this one underway. Sampai's has that AWP.
Raskitler kanske.
The team aim, block, smoke. So not going to be playing aggressive.
Galilurigi var.
Heavy God, the B defender. Always good for one is Heavy God. With limited data regarding these teams, it is going to be interesting to see how the approaches have changed since Cologne. Kisuke up through Pop.
Heavy
BILAN. And I think it's something that would be nice to condition early, right? If you're on the T side, to be able to Well, this is cheeky, so this will apply a lot of pressure to the default. See, the fact that that's not out the gates, it's a little bit more mid-round, means that they are going to be worried about some type of a push. Sandwich smoke drops at a minute. Main blocked again. And because they threw that utility and there wasn't any spam or anything crazy, it's allowed this rotation back to yard. Here they come.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice one from Mouse. Still empty-handed is Kiyasuke.
NIKO's back bomb already.
Yeah, that's a powerful position. Actually, Hunter's right next to him on that connector.
Should be able to plant.
Mattis responsible for the on-off cross. Hunter, an audible reload, and NIKO puts him down comfortably. Mattis, though. Claws one back, some Boss Kixon has confirmation of presence and looks away as Kixon moves forward.
It's not planted, 18 seconds.
Who's responsible for this? NIKO doesn't want to move, he calls Tessus to the punch. Heavy got him, Heavy got tracking, backs a turn, Tessus down. Bomb needs to be picked up, NIKO, 7 seconds, mate. You got to get on it now, the 1v2.
Run him down. Oh, he doesn't have it.
Doesn't have it, doesn't have it. That is fallen apart.
I think that NIKO had to be the one to go for the plant there. I think that it had to be him, and he's calling his teammates in to try and get that down because he thinks he has pole position in that, but his players are in better spots to hold these Tessus pop. I know that there's uncertainties regarding the rotations coming through, but Heavy God just swoops. That's at 10 seconds. It scuttles forward again. Pius shoots kick. They're just all running for the bomb when the man closest to it. Opting not to pick it up.
You can see the logic from NIKO as well, though. He's thinking Heavy God's coming connector. Didn't anticipate the push inner. Leaves them here.
I think a BX with the util we have right now, it looks like a BX very likely. They've thrown yard util, especially that Ivy smoke, right? It's going to keep multiple bodies worrying about the Ivy play.
They're going to flash and go.
Well, I think right now it's likely to see Molly connector, Molly back bomb. This is essentially the Furia execute we're about to see. So you're going to see them try and scale up right now. They're going to try and push up and stifle connector.
Damage inflicted, bodies drop. Heavy God with the scavenged AK puts it to good use. There's the NIKO dig. Blazing as always. And that bomb goes down. Whether or not they see the round, that's highly unlikely. Priority number 1 was get into the site and get the bomb down. Justifies the investments. But this is a flying start for CT side on Train.
I really like the way that G2 are approaching these inner defenses when they have 2 players. They're both playing high ramp side. Right? Normally you'd see one maybe back bomb or back low ramp Train.
Or like
and then
Thomas, something,
but I like this because you can play. I think I've heard someone call it device, which is going back to CSGO.
3 kills.
Exactly. Yes. But it's not a bad spot. So look, I'm going to call it device. Playing that position and having a player behind you, right? You're able to spot high ramp from the low deck and low ramp from the high deck, and you're able to play off of each other in tandem quite well. And then you're also not bottlenecked with your rotation through CT and Con. Guns back out. Harass towards Pop.
Ой, чалава, охуеть, хаешка, нахуй, прилетела. Бешков раунд без энди bilmadim. Да, нахуй. Понял. Камбэк bo'ladi KT'da. Serious. KT'da камбэк bo'ladi, lekin qiladi. Sampay agressiv ketdi.
And then the rotation
from Hunter is pushing
still. He might just what's happening here?
He's walk pushing instead.
Well, he's not heard. Sampai's making a play.
Yeah, big play. He's going to be really tightening this flank quick. He's hot on their heels. Whether he gets sidetracked with a main clear or if he starts to flank immediately.
This is huge info from Sampais.
Remains to be seen. Yeah, they're grouping up. Does he? Yeah, he's going for the flank. He's doing it. He is doing it.
And they're leaving Pop. They are going to execute B. Sampais is the info heading, but it's about the timing.
They're coming down that low round. First man on the scene. Let's Kiyasuke go. Hunter will pick him up. And that false sense of security for Kixon. Surely not after a double kill. 3v5. You don't get anything going. Sampire 7, the back connect. Double kill for the Spaniard. Sampaier's fragging up a storm.
And just as we were discussing the lack of impact from Sampaier in this G2 jersey, that right there might be one of his most impactful rounds yet. And I'm not even over-exaggerating this situation. The pop harass was beautiful. Those nades, a bowling sub.
$600 taking away thousands.
Bab kitlesiz nahv
what are we meant to do, right? Double exactly. So I look,
I love
that opening, but the fact that they can't find the close, that is going to rattle Falcons, and T rounds in the current meta, few and far between. When you get a two-man opener because of HGs, you didn't even have to fire a bullet.
Yo, fatality
Heads up play after the Ivy pick gets them back into the round 5-0.
Faktiskt uzun round'un bir yerde canım. NIKO scout aldı Flet.
We had NIKO and MONESY, the two gentlemen closest to your screen, showing up, something that they had a tougher time with in Cologne, and that was a key win factor on Ancient.
Skiing round av kollade.
MONESY yet to get going, still very early stages, so... And again, T side of Train. You'd be happy with 3-4 rounds?
Oh, a golden opportunity. NIKO's scout reveals itself. Missed shot, flash on the repeat, lovely from Mattis, tames the spray to a second. Oh, it's falling into place perfectly for Mattis.
Just from a enjoyment of watching perspective, G2, they're going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They're going to be a lot of fun. And the output that they're able to get from these individuals is great. And that's the thing, Sampai's with his impact, if he can have that more often, okay.
Not easy to control to the higher elevation as well.
You know, here's the thing, and this is
maybe a little bit uncouth, but
G2 lacks bases. I feel I look at the team and I go, right, they're all playing for each other.
Yeah.
And
MONESY onto Sampai's, a quick opening to start round 7 off.
This is a classic 3-1.
Oh wait, Nicole whiff of him, Kixon just enough to catch Malbs. That's the first time he's tried an early main aggress, and he's been put down quickly by Kixon.
This new box gives a bit more elevation. The Arts is going to use that, but risky place, you're quite open to a lot of angles. But I feel comfortable looking at it. Yeah, but it's good to be good to cast off guard, right? In terms of your pre-aims, you might be worried a little bit more 6-lane, or the new box itself, as the dismount is there, the gamble from G2. They're stacked outside. They have to just sit, wait, and hope.
And if Mattis does it again, I don't know what to say. Sure, once that was against a half buy. This is AKs. He should not have the same level of success.
Okay.
The switch, the AWP takes it down clean. Now Hunter's position noted. Goes down to Kiyasuke.
And the B defender's alive, so where is he?
Here we go.
And he is waiting.
So
nice onto the first, but NIKO finally gets him down. That's just the second death for Heavy God, and it's the first round, excuse me, for Falcons.
Money's not a problem for G2 right now, so they will be able to buy in again. So Falcons will need to get this one on the trot. And we'd assume if there are no saves,
Dragon
to break
roar.
the money, but we'll have to wait and see the outcome.
You see that just a little bit of Malbs poking out the smoke.
This time it was a 3-1-1 with Ivy pressure. They're looking to the AWP start Ivy again.
That's one hell of a way to open up the round.
Careful on the Ivy pick though, the AWP is posted.
Yeah, he's done very well with that. MONESY, what are you supposed to do now? Your position's noted. Oh, you can throw a nice nade if you're Tessus. That's something.
Karimin elo igrok man bol, raskitlan full bilaman bol, igrani chustus qilaman, lekin minus tovonim shu kesik o'ynashim. Kecha art prezentatsiyasi aytgan narsasi. Oqlasizlar mana bu video qo'yib beraman.
CT side comebacks. I think that
Anubis
plus just the strength of T-side force really took Counter-Strike to a different place. I'm not saying all maps should be 9, but he's the double
Write this one down, play it with your brother. Play it with your friends.
It's just, like, think about it, right? You're going to hear the comms, you're going to come high round.
And you get spotted out. Heavy God throws a solid HE, looks like it's destined for damage. Leaves a mark.
Yeah, but Heavy God
loses control of the spray as Heavy God. NIKO's holding for your swing, Malbs. Have you got it in you? Yes, you have with Mattis' help. Tessa's trades, both from one side. Kiyasuke loses his head. Tessa lines him up, knocks him down, bowling. from Tesses.
Yeah, it's Hunter there
Bunu
that
bence
really misunderstands the situation.
bilmiyor
Because
lekin
it's
brat.
contact down low round, they don't really know how many players have passed once Heavy God was pushed off that line. And the money not completely broken. They will be able to drop an M4. There's a Famas for Heavy God and still an ult for Sampaya. So
Heavy God
it is lacking in the CT buy department.
Yeah, 2 consecutive gun rounds, and that's why NIKO's so G'd up. If they can find this, if they can break that back, a solid haul on your T side, no pistol. Doing it the hard way. Sampaya assault again in a different place. Relocates and finds blood. NIKO's gone, kicks and wins it out again. Malm's having a tough time dealing with the Macedonian.
Yasuke can just play through this.
Okay.
Yeah, I love this.
Yeah.
Heads up play.
He's taking a risk, and he's found the
Sampaya's coming back.
He's got him. Nice little sound cue for Kiyasuke to locate him. Monesy wins out versus the Ivy fight in the meantime. This is one hell of a flanky. Here's Sampaya as he hasn't booked. See ya later, Alligator. The floodgates could open to a T-side haul. Feels like 3. Hunter trying to change that with some clears. He's walk pushing though. Kicks could go down here. The trade like a guarantee.
Imagine. Pivots into the double. The bomb's loose in main.
No.
2v2.
I mean, I can't imagine.
Yes, indeed. Okay, well.
Heavy God,
a 1v3 situation. This is extremely tough for him to win. Don't even know if we'll find the first.
I don't know, Heavy God, like you say, he's always good for one.
Still heading yard.
What about the 2
and the 3?
Kiyasuke has a round.
Yeah.
It takes balls to be going for pushes like that.
Exactly, right? And your players need to know that they can make moves, right? It's not just about having the balls, it's knowing that I'm not going to get told off by my team if I go for this and it doesn't work. Converted rounds for G2, which now sees them chip in with some pistols. I'm very happy with that. Updates about the EWC Club Championship. Well, for Falcons, this will greatly increase their chance. They're already at the top of the leaderboard, but this one will go a long way of keeping them there. It's Vitality and Liquid, the other 2 main teams in contention. But right now, on our secondary stream, Henry G and Dinko, alongside the tech, are bringing you the action of VP taking on Mouse. And I would say, have a look at the result from map number 1. You might be surprised. The rain, somewhat soothing in this situation.
Так, торта буйного. Intriga, round, Ziggle, Sampayas.
There is a trap awaiting on that B-bomb site. So long as there's some probes sent out towards the unguarded A site, this shouldn't be too much of a problem.
They've stacked themselves in the right place more often than not, G2. But right now, doesn't look like it will be the case. The way around like this could work. If Mattis would have to stay alive, they'd have to get all the way into hell. He gets the kill, then his teammates are able to come through the back lines, the flank or connector.
Так, окей, аяга айтып була. Киксен элик бай. Так. Воликка югары барып.
Okay, NIKO.
Qara. По факту.
Gets that bomb planted. Mattis unable to disrupt. Too many bodies on site. Bit of damage dealt to Kiyasuke. Playing on that E-box still. That looks like a nade destined for a little bit of damage. Malm's chunked down to just 80.
You want to get a couple of kills in this situation, or some AKs. Winning the round, it's off the table now, but some damage done to Falcons, so you can still get 8 within this half G2.
Yo, görmedim. Adı brat уже көрмей қойып түйіт қазады 100%.
Nice headshot from Mattis P250. Softens him up, but they can't find that conversion. Look at the health. I mean, you can see these attempts. Yeah, not a single one healthy, but every single one standing. Falcons 4, no pistol, T-side train. They picked it for a reason, and we're starting to see it taking shape before our very eyes. Breaking through, convert the eco, 4 consecutive rounds.
Yeah, Zonic is going to be extremely happy with this. Right, the fact that you've been able to get it, as you've highlighted, without the pistol, that's a dream. You even had to break through 3 consecutive rifle rounds to force them to the eco, and now this is where you're liberated a little bit more to call with as Kixon. Okay, well, we've already got 4. We can try something a little bit more out of the box. There is no Sampaio's AWP.
Oldu intriga tugadi, короче. Hi, brat. Flashbang o'zim qilamadim. Pechada stream
He also had that Ivy trade to the big
push
to net them a massive round earlier on within the half, but right now this is going to be tough to get back into. Not a diffuse kit in sight for the CT side. But the bomb goes down. Chances
6-6 bo'larkan.
Three smokes. They are going for something early, Chad. Kiyasuke outmade.
Bye.
Instantaneously slips away. No trade from Malbs. Malbs does get it on the reclear. Crouches forward.
Именно хаттан ko'ramiz. Ayting biz o'sha joyga ko'chib olamiz. Qaysi nimasidan ko'ramiz?
As the round simmers into a 4v4, you have a flash and 2 mollies to work with.
Oh, and a jiggle from Sampaio confirms his position. Molly from MONESY. Otherwise, he could have forced that fight.
Will NIKO try and take a gamble? He might just want to walk into B, knowing it's a 4v4. Sure. Heavy God has to worry about high ramp and low ramp. Such a good timing. Cheeky span there from Sampaio.
Star Trek
League on how NIKO plays this.
He's ahead of that smoke. So it actually limits its potency, but Heavy God will play behind it. Ivy pressure now. They're actually giving it up. Position from Sampaio is maybe a B split.
Heavy God making a play.
Heavy God kicks on. Tak. Moment.
Should have him quick adjustment. He doesn't do that alone, does he?
Başkan buldu şekilde de. Da buldu. Okay.
Good work.
Hunter
puts him down. Sampaio catches the Ivy aggressive Tesses.
Okay.
Composed, calm from MONESY. Make sure he gets. NIKO confirms his cousin has the bomb.
Oj, jävlar. Okej, tack. Nice!
This is a T-side now. This is a scary
T-side. Bilmadim, brat. Set berdi. Manimcha Facebook official live stream o'shanga endi bemalol o'zbekchada backgroundsiz qilamiz degan. Seriozmi? No, razрешение olsa bo'ladi. Donekida ham razрешение bor edi, qaysi simlarni qilish kerak ekan. Esmayman qaysilarni qilish. Bor edi. Tako ofitsialniy serverini berardi, ular berardi. Хуёвый бай. MONESY o'lib ketdi. Agressiya. Ivy olib ketishdi adashmasam.
Great for his troubles. A 4v5.
Hunter, перевозчик. Ivy olib Sampaio'ga olib berdi.
NIKO versus Heavy God and Hunter. Spots him out. That info flows. Lurk smoke from NIKO.
Kiyasuke Heavy God o'ldirdi.
Heavy God. That's an awkward exchange. Empty hands for Heavy God. A rarity.
Kim menga beradi skin? Kim menga beradi?
Mattis is
Teyni yomon ko'raman.
The reroute called as a sandwich smoke thrown very late.
O'ynachi bilsa yaxshi karta
both Malbs and Sampaio. Yeah, it's tough. He's going to take it forever to get
there. Beraman deymidi. Qachon beraman dedi?
Doesn't matter if Sampaio can keep shooting.
Hop. 5 round olshadim bular. 5 ga 4 ga 3. Heavy God o'ldi boya. Hop. Timingga qara. Online. Какая? Пиздец. Men muzikani voqea yoqib qo'ydi bular. O'char muzikani uka.
Just like that. Hunter and Malbs.
Tak, Malbs. Qaramayapti bu yoqqa.
Oh my goodness, Malbs.
Pizdet.
Didn't expect him.
Buni beraman demadi. Bunini fan account beraman dedi. Brat fan account.
Simmering down, doesn't it? 6 straight rounds for Falcons to take
us
into the
halftime
break. Unless Hunter can do something absolutely insane. Nima
qo'cha degan. Bo'ldi. 6-6 bo'ladi. Ishlar danu naxuy. 6 bo'ladimi? Billat. Yepa. Billat. Просто ham 6-6 bo'lar ekan qarang.
A big win for the org.
Kino ko'ramiz nima? Kino ko'ramizmi? Eski post jalab to'g'ri yozinglar. Iltimos, o'zbekcha yozsanglar, ruscha yozsanglar, xilcha yozsanglar, to'g'ri yozinglar, по-братски. O'quvchi sikilib ketadi yo'da. Kino xudo xolisa ko'ramiz, brat. Xudo xolisa ko'ramiz. 17 FALCONS. Voy, tak. Bu 3-2 3-2 ga o'xshayapti. Shedevr hammasini bilyapti. Sizga kak. Hali menga ham o'rgating, yo prediktorlarni yaxshi qilishni bilasizmi? Ha, bilaman, uni ham streamida ko'raman-ku, qaysi o'zinikiligini bilaman. Da. Ja 17 bo'lmasa kerak, lekin ko'ramiz, qo'yishni. Mana shu deb aytibdilar, 17 bo'ladi deb. Umid qilib qo'ydi ular. Muzikani qaytarib berishdi. Takoy 2,5 minut muzika eshitamiz, takoy muzikalniy pauza bo'ladi bolalar. Bitlarni eshitdilar, har bitta notasini just o'z qilaylik. Like bosmaymiz shekilli. Bagdan aka, bugun kechki soat 00:30lar yoki 01 atrofida Twitchda kino ko'ramizmi birgalikda yoki yo'q, javobingiz men uchun muhim. To'g'ri yozdimmi? Da, brat. Caps bilan yozdingiz, pizdetsiz, brat, pizdetsiz. Xudo xohlasa ko'ramiz, brat, aytdim va to'g'ri yozish kerak deb, bo'lsa o'qish qiyin bo'lib qoladi. Mana shu orqadagi muzika uchun ham ban beradimi? Blastda ban beradi, brat. Chunki Blast bilmayapti. Bularda qo'ysangiz beradimi, bermaydim. Shu paytgacha men o'yinlarni YouTube'da ko'rayotgan bo'lsam, haligacha strike, break, alabatar hali olganim yo'q, endi olmayman. Nojelatinglar, agar kattaroq kanal bo'ladigan bo'lsa, agar o'zimda kanalim rivojlanib o'sadigan bo'lsa, to o'sha Twitchda bunaqa prямой efirlarni olib boraman yoki ikkinchi takoy levi kanal qilaman deb o'sha yerda o'tkazaman. Bir minut emas, 57 sekund. Tak, menda 5 sekund zadержка ekan, hozir ko'rib qoldim. Notebookimda 55 sekund ko'rsatyapti, bu yerda 51 sekund ko'rsatyapti. Nu, da, 5 sekund zadержкам bor ekan, balda. OBS o'zidan zadержкada faqat bu. Twitchda nima kerak ko'ramiz, brat. Misol uchun hozir bu tugaydi, o'yin tugaydi, stream o'chiraman soat 9larga yoqaman, yana boshqatdan o'sha Face o'ynaymiz, Face'dan keyin, o'ynab bo'lgandan keyin Twitchga o'tamizda, kino ko'ramiz. Bilmayman, menda o'zi желание bor edi, missiyaga выполнимani oxirgisini ko'rish, chunki kecha vроде бы teaserini, treylerini ko'rdim, lekin oxirgi nima, kinoni o'zim ko'rganim, sotib olganman. Kinoni. O'shani ko'rmoqchi edim. Bolalar bilmayman nima qildi. Prikol kino ko'ringlar ana. Siz ham prikol kino ko'ryapsiz. Prikolli kino, qanaqa kinolarni bilasizlar? Aytinglarchi. O'zbekcha kino ko'ramiz ham. Takoy, nostalgiya, eski kinolardan ko'ramiz ham, nima deysizlar? Shun bo'lami?
Esports World Cup 2025. We're into the second map between G2 and FALCONS, and it started with 6 consecutive from G2.
Yoki Alxazar qo'yizlar. Men bu kinolarni ko'rmaganman, Alxazarni. Mahallada Dudu gap bor, takoy eski sovetskiy kinolardan bittasi. Mahallada Dudu gap, bola.
G2 are keeping the vibes relatively high. The coach is smiling his face the same now coming into this pistol round. As far as the investments are concerned, let's take a look. Shall we find on the CT side, they've equipped themselves with 2 pairs of dual barometers.
Hop 6-6 bo'ldi. Qizlar yo'q, lekin streamda bolalar shuning uchun. Instagramda ham statistikani ko'rsa faqat bolalar ko'radi. Qizlar ko'rmas ekan mana jala. Hop, Kasuki, Sanpayasi o'ldirdi, okey. 5 ga to'r. Nanda qo'y. Valps. Valpsa. Как пистолетка, бля, 6-7, 5 шанс jala. Qizlar ko'rib ketdi. Nega mana qizlar? Prezentabilli emasmi? Kachog bo'lishim kerak, bolalar qizlar ko'rib. Kachog bo'lib, so'ndan oldirib tepaga tarab takoy. Laklab sepib, pissillatib, ha.
Those kills were coming in late from G2 it felt, so there has been quite a push in favor of FALCONS.
But this chance pistoletni.
Now this is going to be the whole
qaragan suhbatdan chalab bor yo'q 26 yosh faqatga qarayman. Hali endi yoshman.
As mentioned, it's very tough to call.
Hali ajinlarim ham ajin yo'q, mana peshona ko'rsam yo'q ajin.
They are going to take the fullest of ecos. If they could get the bomb down, that would be great. But
sakkiz bo'ladi.
Towards B and set up a little tank setup right now in case there is a pop push.
That would be a jump scare if you round.
Are you serious, man? Are you serious, man? Hatta iki tomondan to'kilish boshlaydi. Voy jalla.
A neat trick. A scout
decoy. Makal bo'ldimi?
Look,
shuni esingizda qolsin deb takoy chiqar. Tepa kal bo'lib qolgan paytimda san kal bo'lmaysan deb aytmadim, ha? Chol kezga siz olmaysiz degan. Ulfatlarni ko'rsak ham yo'q demayman, o'zingizni istagingiz nima deyapti, nima ko'rishni istayapsiz. Ko'ramiz, brat, ko'ramiz. Определимся dedi takoy. O 5 Ivy ketyapti B'ga qarab.
Jaraz and Rushley Ranger.
Ivy must pop block for them.
They waited for the push, nothing came through. They know this is a nothing round, but you managed to get the most out of it that you can.
Bu birinchi karta emas, bu ikkinchi karta bu. FALCONS forever.
And this one should be a shutdown.
Первый есть. Второй есть, третий, четвертый, пятый. Все.
No point making too much noise about that one. As 8-6, 2-round difference.
Глава государства фильм 2025. Мощная комедия Джонни Синс o'ynagan zo'r aktyorlar bor. Tak, понял, заметка yopib qo'yaman. Screenshot qilaman de.
Push us to dust to the third and decider. All bets are off.
Komediya bo'lsa, o'zbek tilida bormi bu?
It's a long way back into this game.
Men ko'rsam o'zim rus tilida ko'raman. Kinodan ikkinchi oxirgi kartda. Hangover ko'rgan. Hangover ko'rmaganman. Вообще mashhur kino biznes komediya. Серьезно?
3-1-1 early. Sandwich smoke. So Ivy pressure, part of the game plan.
Так, агрессия.
From the defense. ESKI and NIKO go knock in. Some Pius, however, does trade out Hunter's death. That's Ivy active. Mattis with the bomb on his back starts to recede.
Johnny Sins o'ynagan kino hech qachon chiqmasa kerak.
I suppose he's going to be parking it for the lurk.
But as soon as you get into this position, once he calls pop clear like this is such a tough position to find yourself into re-clear. Now, if you do notice Tessus, you go, okay, this is the B defender, and you can smoke him and molly him off and then run into B, great, but it's just Heavy God. He might get caught on a timing here regardless.
Heavy God qarshi Tessus. Boyagi holat bo'larmi ekan? Ha, tekshiradimmi, tekshirmaydim. 1 2 3 4 5.
Okay, well, yeah, there you go. Nameplate Counter-Strike.
MONESY Tolibi ilmi tolib shogirdi bilgandan so'radi. Shogird qanday takliflaring bor? Voy, jala, masga adabiy yozing deganim ham, masga to'g'ri yozing dedim, bo'ldi, jala.
Product of that kill.
Now says NIKO's the real jewel.
You're right,
mate. Tarjima qilmas ekanmi Johnny Sinsni kinodan qo'yishlaydi, brat.
Barrel just obscured.
Abdullajon ko'rikunda, Abdullajon. NIKO haqidamidi? Osmondan tushgan. Osmondagi yulduzlarni ham ko'rsa bo'ladi lekin. Bir. Hop.
Suke falls after one, and this one falls nicely into place for G2's first gun.
All right, well, good understanding there at the mid-round. And yeah, timing peak, the real difference maker for NIKO is going to be kicking himself. Those are the type of rounds where you see players push back in the chair.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us.
Tabii bo'lardi, adashmasam, popchiga bir round olarmikin? Yo'q. Adashmasam 7 ni berish kerak. Mana bratni prediktlari bo'yicha shu devr OKS prediktlari bo'yicha bir round berish kerak. Keyin undan 7 bo'lish kerak. Da. Hadi shunaqa bo'lyapti hozir. Takmasdan harakat bor.
This is what G2 need to see with him in the jersey.
Osmondagi bolalar dedim-ku, yo oila dedimmi? Virusku period 2025 ko'rsangiz bu ham zo'r kino. Endi navbatchilar. Yo, nimasi treyler yoqmadi menga uni.
And this is the fight for me. The fact that Heavy God wins this, I can't quite believe it.
I think Tessus can either.
How does he adjust into that? Oh, then there's Sonic. Yeah, those frustrations and just how tense it's been for him ever since he's donned this jersey.
O'yin chat breaking gapiramiz. Nodir moderator drop tashayman hozir. Odam yozish kerak, bratim. Bayt qilmaydi demoqchi edim. No-da.
Yeah, mouths are slowed.
Yeah,
tak. Onu ketdi bo'lish kerak, qaranglar.
Heavy got down
Matios. Sekin chiqib keladi, smoke ichiga yeb olib. Okay, NIKO kiradi, takoy chapga qarab.
Bad round to lose, especially in this fashion. if you were able to get a couple of kills and it was tight, yeah, always looking for the feet. Yeah, he's seen him. So if you play close there towards main, you can actually see the toes of the player in Mattis's position.
Mana o'shani o'ylayapman o'zi. Ko'ramiz, qarshi kechqurun o'zim reshat qilaman, menda qaysi qara, jala labiga nima qo'ygan bu? Hammasi surib olganmi yoki?
Anyway, returning to the conversation about the money. The reason that's such a bad round to lose in that fashion is they were only getting 1900 going into this next one, so
what, you were looking for kills in a bomb plan or something?
Just make it competitive so that a forced conversation would even be possible.
Right.
The fact that you just get absolutely obliterated, and that's going to be the case when you do. You have a team like Falcons. If their firepower is what I think everybody knows it can be, then it becomes extremely scary. Your pop and main control consists of QARSHI and NIKO, and then you have MONESY with the all rifle to support, also a very proficient rifler. Right, that is super scary. That should be a lockdown. Naded low round, they've done a quick connect.
Man hali ham shedevr prinsipti bo'yicha o'tiribman takoy. Yaxshi kayfiyatda. FALCONS yutadi
You know, this is correlating with Hunter's leadership.
Mo'jizachilar,
as far as his development as a captain, he said he's about a 6 and maximum power, which is fair enough.
I think for Hunter, he would have had to have done some mid-round decision-making or calling in the previous iterations of G2 anyway, right? So with NIKO, there's probably calling openings, but the type of positions Hunter would play, he'd be on an active lurk, so he'd be able to control rounds from those spots now.
God kicks on the ball.
Sprinting into action here, Alex. There's a bit of a gap. If Sapias gets anything, this round is on. As long as he doesn't go down for free.
Honestly, he's not playing scared at all. He's actually going to continue to walk up, close the gap. That's what I was saying. Sapias catches
They lost the bomb.
Oh, they did. Flames stopping bomb retrieval, and now Kiyasuke.
25.
And MONESY's on the other side. This is going to be very hard.
Heavy.
Eagle. You really have to hit him the
MONESY
first bullet, otherwise he will. Sunpias onto Kiyasuke.
This is.
Oh, they spot him out. They might get it out. 10 seconds. Heavy God trying to get across for the safe blood. Holds for the deagle shot. Needs to punch in the code. Fakes it out. Tessus, do you call the blow? Heads down to the wire.
Fallout beraman, bellimi. Bu dishini ko'ramadim men. Qo'limda qo'yib o'sha Bentley olardim. O'ynab 10 o'yin ketma-ket yutgan komandasiga yutqizdi. Da, Genizoki elite sistema.
That could have been the bigger of the problems.
50 ming so'mmi, 50 ming dollar. Bir hayotimga Fallout beringchi, biroz iltimos. Mani hayotimni bilak qilmoqda. 50 ming karta istasa o'raman. Agar o'xshasa. Shedevr G2 bitta bo'lsa ham round oladi, qarab turing.
Yeah, that was so much closer than it ever should have been. Heavy God opens it, almost closes it.
Yeah, the Heavy God Desert Eagle, huh? I mean,
there's some mad
Eagles on this team. Malbs and Heavy God, in combination, they're going to be getting you at least a couple of those Deagle rounds a tournament. And that one came really close, you're right. I think that MONESY double with the loss of the bomb, it really just sucked the air out of the round.
Okay, well, running out of opportunities now, G2. They take the tactical timeout. They get the coach on the mic, second used, and this one needs to really
qarang, agar shu o'yinda realni 13-7 bo'lsa, men sizga prediktivga ishonaman-da. Kutaman gamepodga nima qilishni. Ajin expert.
Yeah, Tessus. Ended the last round.
bo'ladi.
Sweeps up the problem.
O'zim chiqmaydi shunaqa chemplarga. Bilmadim, brat. Yo'q, ajin expert ketdikman. Men tikib yuboring, brat. Qarang, yaxshi o'xshabotdi. Shu savol bor-ku, nega folbinlar hamma narsani bilsa, ajin expertga pul tikib qo'yib ketmagan degan. Who is night, brat. 13 tugadi. Serious?
Don't even get a chance to really play into whatever the plan was. Just with the offensive defense there. Crunch down, they want the territory, they take it, and they have no dramas. Only 29 lost into the next. If you had a bomb down, maybe we could have the conversation going, do you want to save these? We have a little bit of utility to work with. It's like, that's probably the better option, but you have so much time you have to save. So what if they keep pushing, and Matis wants to make the play? He's got a kill.
A gap forms.
The Molly stops the push of the bomb train, but MONESY can see over it.
And that's the next fight for him. Smoke camera and then be ready for this fight.
Monesy'ga qarshi Matthews chiqadi, Yibalayni qalbari
join the party. Swings on in, forces Monesy off the line. A missed shot from the AWP.
Camera push looks likely.
Yeah, Kickston's readying himself for that. Testis as well. Oh, he's over too quick. Didn't anticipate that. And Mattis is hunting down Monesy, not far off from making a round out of this. But Kickston, surprise, puts it in. 11 for Falcons, slipping through the fingers of G2. And went during that interview I referenced with Freya and Hunter as well, something he talked about was just this absence of officials. He said, oh, it'd be nice to have, 5 days where I'm getting the official reps in. Well, EWC, we don't work like that. You're actually going down round 1 if you can't turn this one back around.
I just think with the last two events being single elimination, which in themselves is very rare for the Counter-Strike space, it's do or die. You fly to Riyadh and you get sent home after just 2 maps. So positive signs, but that's not what we're here for. Just ask Liquid. Again, they push Vitality, but again, they lose as the force is in, and this one looks done.
It does. Especially now, they line up for NIKO. Gets a freebie through the head of Malbs into Mattis. He's as far as it goes. I think part of the pick train was knowing that you're going to make the captain uncomfortable. Calling a T-side train, Kickson managed to manufacture 6 consecutive Can't give him all the credit. Team effort. NIKO at the top of the tables.
Yeah, and this is what's necessary. Remember the first game back in Cologne, NIKO was playing Grays. Like, yeah, I'm on 16 by 9 res now, I'm feeling it. And then the next 2 series, it kind of disappeared. And the conversation was, okay, well, with NIKO in this form, and honestly not hitting his stride as well, you have another star player in the mix, but it doesn't seem to be working. So with a bit of extra time, a bit of extra practices, with some Pius, he does have the bomb. He has drawn the rotation, but I really doubt that we get the clutch required. Just want to go back to that first half and
Davay.
they're going to be kicking themselves, G2. They were in such a strong position.
Kutaman, keyin yutadi FALCONS komandasi, chiqadi, man game pointda chempion bo'laman. Davay, ko'ramiz.
Vitality as well. The bigger picture.
Agar 13-8 bo'lsa o'xshamagan bo'ladi. 17 bo'lsa davay deyman. Komanda yig'amanda game pointga chiqamiz o'ynashga. Model vering endi qachabi. Bala. To'xtang, shoshilib turing, 17 bo'lsa keyin model olasiz agar bo'lsa.
Telling him to keep talking? Is that what that was? I didn't, he kind of gave him a whole hand signal.
Wow.
Wait,
can never be too late. Final timeout.
Yaxshi istedi. Burka bo'lsa Bogdanni ko'rtanasini slip qilaman. Tez bosiling. Poyol 18 bo'lsa menga model go. Yeah, 18 bo'lsa hech kimga model bermayman. 17 bo'lsa Federalga model beraman.
That key looks so pretty.
Some of these rounds where they don't have the firepower and they're trying to force themselves through these main smokes, you're really hoping you get the timing or your flash is perfect, and those are coin toss moments, but that also talks the difficulty of train. That's why you see some of the teams who play very, very slow. I don't think you have that luxury anymore, G2.
18 bo'lsa, tak, Nodir nima qilish, model belgisi nima qilish.
Hunter on the warpath, Mattis needed down to 60. Cut of his tongue. Backs away.
Davay.
Blocked on ramp.
At least this time they've been given the space. Teammates are starting to rotate back over, so now that they have the control. Careful now, Sapias with the bomb. Liz forward first in pop. Monesy's rotated over to join this B defense, and I think they might even gamble a third.
Yeah, it looks like Yasuke's going.
So double mollies might be more of that same execute. You get the con molly in, needs to be nice and deep. Back bomb molly, some good flashes, high ramp lurk smoke. They can't actually molly test that position if they want to go for back bomb and
GG.
So I think Teslas wins in the round.
Oldindan nima qilib qo'ymaylar, palet qilib qo'ymaylar, tak Monesy.
Loses his head. That's that mouth dig, but into the meat grinder. Teslas and Yasuke, they want to get this one done. 2-0, no more.
Bas plus bo'ldi. Tak. Bo'ldi. Men game point qatnashaman. Komandani olib chiqaman, yeb yutamiz jala. Pizdes. Охуеть, шедевр. Как ты угадал, нахуй? Как ты угадал, бля? Как ты угадал? Как? 6-6'dan boshlab 13-7 bo'ladi. Qanaqasi sotib oling o'yin? Bo'ldi, men qatnashaman bo'ldi. Davay, go, shedevr mana sizga. To'xtang, men kanal o'zgartiraman-da, hozir bir sekund. Boshqa kanalda edim. Shedevr. Xursand qilaman sizni. Назначить стандартный модератор. Bo'ldi, mana. Охуеть, абсолютно. Абсолютно, jala. Абсолютно zo'r. Endi komanda yig'ish kerak, game pointda qatnashish kerak. Охуеть. Like bo'lsamiz, абсолютно пиздец, да.
But your takeaway, G2 look good, huh?
Shedevr ko'ta ekansiz, jala boya mod berib nega mod berganimga o'yinni chustvoch qilaman. Vallahi 5 minutda streamchani o'chiraman, tez edit qilishim kerak, tez qo'yib yuborishim kerak YouTube'ga mashinalarni. O'shanga sorry. Реально kerak joyi edi hozir bular. Men fikrim bo'yicha uchadi. Shedevr, siz qanaqa fikrdasiz? Hozirgi narezka uchib ketadimi? Agar Instagramga qo'ysam, narezka qilib takot momentlarini.
You can see what they are capable of.
Tez yozing, tez.
As we head over to the stage.
Otma uka. Post point'dagi makina ko'ramiz так. Yemedi lekin meni lishni. Так. O'zi знает, брат. Tushunmaydi. O'chirib yuboramiz, qo'ying. O'chirib yuboramiz. Bo'pti, bolalar, men o'chirdim streamchani. Sizlar bilan kechroq ko'rishamiz, okeymi? Takoy. Hamma kirganlarga rahmat, hamma o'tirganlarga rahmat. Kechroq ko'rishamiz, Facebook ko'ramiz.